Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
And we are so glad that you decided to hang with us. You know, we're two busy blondes, and we've been very busy, and we've got a lot of plans and some resolutions and some goals.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering how we're doing with that.
Well, we're going to talk about it here in a minute because, you know, so many people have already ditched theirs by now, or maybe they didn't even make them this year. But we're going to talk about some of the top New Year's resolutions and, you know, see where we stand.
That's
we're going to
right.
be like, how you doing, Betsy? I mean, how you doing
You
so
talking to me?
far? I'm talking to you. I want to know it. But before we get into that, tell folks what we got in store from them today.
Well, I tell you what, one of my New Year's resolutions is to be more organized. And for me, that's a little bit of a challenge because I've got a lot going on up here. Some of it good, some of it confused. Sometimes I allow clutter to take up my space. So I'm just going to be honest and say I intend to be organized all the time, and I don't always accomplish that goal. But I have the professional. I have Alyssa Trosclair, who owns Emend LLC. She is an MBA and a CPO. She's a certified professional organizer and the only one in Louisiana. We had her on the beginning of last year. She was so busy she couldn't come back sooner, but now we've captured her, and she's going to be on our show, and we're going to see what we can do to reduce my clutter. And then another goal of mine, dance more. So while she's helping me, I'm going to dance more.
All right, you're going to be doing that. All right,
Yeah.
I'll give you those lessons, right?
Yeah.
But I heard you say that the clutter was up in your head, and I'm not sure how she's going to work on that. But, you know if the stay tuned and you're going to find out.
Yeah, if the clutter in front of me is a little less, let's say, substantial,
Right.
I'm thinking it's going to make me feel like, I don't have to stay home and take care of that. I can just go and dance.
Okay.
I can go
All
enjoy
right.
myself. And so, to me, it's kind of it's a mental wellness.
It's
a
mental
wellness
wellness.
thing.
Now, that's one of those New Year's resolutions people made. Let's go ahead and check off this list. It was be more aware and take care of mental health. That's one of the New Year's resolutions.
Because that mess is driving me crazy because I'm not sure what to do with it all. A lot of it paper.
Well, that was another thing. It says sort out your finances and cut back on spending. That's another New Year's resolution for some folks. And now, at the top of the list every year is lose weight, eat healthier or change your diet, get fitter, and take on more exercise. That could be your
fitter
dancing.
a word?
As far as country
fit,
living
maybe?
is concerned, I took this right from there. Now, every place has different lists for the resolutions, but
And to improve your grammar.
yeah. And so anyway, those are on the list. And so we're going to have my husband, Dr. Curtis Solar, who is with Louisiana Women's Healthcare Associates. And he's going to talk to us about a lot of the things that people should be doing that's going to improve their healthiness. People have been worried about COVID. They're worried about that. But there's some health things that they can be doing that's going to lessen their risk of that, as well as so many other health conditions.
I have not heard through all this COVID stuff, I have not heard anything about, hey, lose 10% if you are overweight. Eat healthier, increase, so I don't hear a lot of that. I hear get vaccinated, which, if you choose to get vaccinated, I think you should get vaccinated. Vaccinate your children, again, personal choice. But I honestly don't hear some of the other health things, the anti-inflammatories.
Things
so
many things that you can be doing yourself. We're going to talk about that and some research data that shows some of the things that help.
Take control, people,
don't
of
get
your
out
health.
In the news. Yeah, and hey, I'm just saying that you all are going to get to meet my dog.
Okay.
Ori the dude is going to be on the show, so y'all are going to get to meet him.
I went to TikTok.
Look,
a future sensation.
I went to an appointment and they said, "You're Ori's mom." I go, "Yes, I am." And they said I follow him on social media. Well, the only place he has is a TikTok account, and
Ori the dude,
because he is a Bernie doodle. So y'all are not going to want to miss that. The dude, Ori the dude. And then we're going to have your interview with Alex Smith, who also performed at home for the holidays.
Yes.
He's up in Nashville. He's an Alexandria, Louisiana boy, and find out what all's going on in his music. But hey, just a couple of other things. We just hope that you pick your resolutions and that you work on yourself, and so that you do better out in this world, because it's freaking crazy.
It is. So I want to dance more, although I did dance more in 2021 than I did 2020, because we were all kind of like closed in.
Okay.
So I want to dance more, and I want to have more fun. And I want to travel more. So
and that's one of the things too, but I don't know, you might be leery of some of that traveling. You're okay to like get stuck anywhere. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later in the show as well. So y'all make sure and stay put. We have got a great lineup for you. You want to meet my dog. I'm just saying. He understands English, so you'll see what I'm talking about.
You want to meet Ori, but you need to meet Alyssa Trosclair with Emend LLC, and she'll be right with us in just a moment. Hang tight.
Yep.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
The use of opioids and addiction to opioids is on the rise, especially in Louisiana, and I wanted to be a part of the solution. If you have a family member or loved one that you are concerned about with regard to opioid use, please call my clinic, Advantage Health Solutions. You can speak with my nurse or you can speak with myself, and we will talk to you about how to get that person into treatment, and we'll tailor what we do to your needs, and we'll do what we can to get your loved one in treatment and onto the path to health.
Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar since 2014, with a full calendar available on the website 24/7, clickable links to artists and venues. View the entire weekend lineup at a glance and plan your outings with your friends. View professional recordings of local live musicians. Watch interviews with people in our music community and find additional resources. Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser of the great state of Louisiana. Hurricane Ida has brought great devastation to our community. In time of need, Louisianans always step up and help their neighbor. This time is no different. We'll help our neighbors and friends get back as we always do. If you need help or know of someone that needs help or would like to volunteer or make a donation, go to volunteerlouisiana.gov. We are Louisiana Strong. Thank you.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Visit one of our 21 state parks all over Louisiana.
Let's go to the state park. There are 21 of them, you know. And state parks have biking and hiking, tubing, and we can even ride horses. Or we can go exploring and even swim by a beach. They have cabins, really nice ones, with long fishing piers.
Don't forget to tell them about the discounts.
Oh yeah, book 3 nights and we get the 4th night free.
Great job.
Thanks.
Louisiana State Parks, we're ready for your adventure.
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
Rocket Right. I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes here with Dr. Kay Solar. And we're talking about New Year's resolutions, and have you already fallen off? Have you already given up? So I have not given up, but I don't know that I've been as dedicated to a couple of those as I need to be just a couple of weeks in. But we have Alyssa Trosclair. She's an MBA and the CPO, Certified Professional Organizer, the only one in the state of Louisiana, and she started a company called Emend. And she's going to tell us about her company, what she can do, and what she can do for you. So thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you were here last January.
I was.
Yes, and your business has really grown since then.
It's been super busy. I mean, organizing is a hot topic right now, especially this time of year. Like you mentioning, people saying that they're resolving to be organized.
Well, and that is one of those top New Year's resolutions.
Year after year.
But I think a lot of people thought about it because they were at home during COVID and saw all the clutter and they wanted to get more organized too.
Right. And
Did you see it?
Absolutely. And they were having to transform their spaces to make it a classroom and make it an office. And it was really shedding light on problems that they maybe could have swept aside because they weren't at home quite as often as they were during the shutdown.
And so Emend, people may not understand, EMEND is an unusual name. It's not like clutter-free organizing. It's a different term. So explain to us how you came up with that term to explain what it is that you do.
Sure. So emend is a word. It means to change. And I thought that was appropriate because people call me in because they're trying to change. They're trying to change their space. They're trying to change their habits. But we came up with an acronym for emend. And it's a 5-step process that I teach all my clients when we go into their homes and get them organized. And so the first E is explore, and that's really relevant right now with New Year's. People are setting goals. So explore to me means, what are you trying to accomplish? Look at your space. What's working? What's not working? We want to really focus our efforts on what's not working and address those. And so when people say, I want to get organized for the new year, that's a great resolution, but the first thing we tell people is, that's a little too big. It's a little too broad. Let's narrow that down. I don't think you'll ever pat yourself on the back and say, I did it. I've been disorganized in my home for 20 years, and this year I've knocked it out the park. We have to start with smaller areas, and so that you can see that you've reached that goal and really accomplish something that you set out to. So don't say, I want to organize my house. Maybe you can't even say, I want to organize my bedroom. Maybe it needs to be a little smaller than that. I need to organize my closet. We tell people, whatever the goal is, just make sure it's a realistic one. So if you can't even walk in and organize your closet, that's too big of a goal. Pare it down more. Today I'm going to organize all my jeans. That's something you can do. You can take all the jeans.
And when you have 100 pair, I mean, that's a little bit of work.
It might be a whole day's worth of work for you. So we really just want you to set the goals for something realistic that you can achieve and really say you've accomplished that goal.
So what is the M?
So the M is merge. And this means get all your stuff together. So what I see time and time again when I go in people's homes is when there's not a place for something, they tend to just shove. Wherever there's an empty spot, things get shoved. So they really don't know what they have because it's spread out all over the house. I give a good example of, I usually see this with gift wrapping. It's like gift bags and bows and tissue paper in 7 different areas of your home, and you don't know where it is. And so what happens is when you need to wrap a present, people go to the store and buy a new bag because they can't find what they have. And so I'm going to say that the E is edit, which is getting rid of, deciding what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of. Mm-hmm. The reason I merge first is because if you don't know what you have, it's hard for you to make that edit step. So once it's all together and you actually see what you have, then you can say, hey, what do I didn't even know I had these. What are the best ones? What are the ones I'm really going to use? These are broken. These are a little stained. Let's get rid of those and keep the things that we want the best. And so some people merging is a step that is really difficult for them. Just
it
getting
could be
together.
overwhelming.
Exactly.
I have a couple of overwhelming closets, I would say.
Right.
Yes.
And then lots of people struggle with the edit phase, which is, what do I do with all this stuff and how do I get rid of it? Rarely do I get a client who's just ready with a dumpster to purge everything out of their homes. That's where the counseling comes in, where we have to talk to people.
But no, I want to keep all of those trophies and medals that I had when I was in elementary school.
It's true. You have to have a husband that goes, no. They go to the dumpster, take a photograph. I'm just like, yeah.
But, we joke about it, but there really is...
Why do I need that, really?
There's so much mental part of that, though, that letting go of that trophy means, is that accomplishment really valid anymore if I let go of the trophy? This represents part of who I was. And so sometimes people have a trouble letting go because they're afraid to let go of that past self. And so we like to remind them that trophy doesn't represent who you are. It was just an accomplishment, and it's great that you had that honor. But you could take a picture of it and remember it as instead of just having it sit on a shelf and collecting dust.
Mm-hmm. And then the N and the D.
Okay, so end is nest. Where's this stuff going to live? Once you've got it all together, and once you've gotten rid of what you don't want anymore, you have to have a place for it to live. So I would say one of the mistakes people make is they say, I'm going to get organized, and the first thing they do is go to Target and buy containers. You will see that nesting.
Oh, a lot of these shows require,
containers,
a lot of these TV shows on
little
Netflix.
boxy things. Like now I have them. I'm going to put this stuff in it.
So it really just ends up, if you'll notice that this is step 4 out of my 5-step process. It's toward the end. It's because if you don't know what you're trying to contain, and it ends up just being boxes of junk, really. And I stress to my clients, we're trying to buying containers is part of the process, but we want you to buy the right containers for the right space and the right size.
And if you don't know what you have,
how do you know? And I will say the majority of the time, I don't even have to buy containers for my clients because we set up what we call the container store of all the empty containers I'm accumulating from around their house after we start getting rid of the things they don't need. Mm-hmm. I've got everything I need there.
The Salvation Army and Goodwill must love you.
They do. We go on the daily, we are donating for sure. And the D is the step that I'm most proud of as being a certified professional organizer. It's about what I call the transference of skills. So my goal is honestly to work myself out of a job. I want my clients to say, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I know everything that I need to know to keep up my space. That's when I know I've done my job. And so with Develop, it's really about teaching them the skills that they need around the systems that we set up so that they can maintain it. And when Christmas happens and there's an influx of things, they aren't overwhelmed. They know if I just follow the amend process, I can get it into place.
So what does D stand for?
Develop.
Develop.
Yes.
Develop.
So it's really
developing
the skills, developing the person, developing the new systems in your home.
Right. So where I get bogged down is the amount of mail, and I've really cut down, and bills emailed and all that stuff, but receipts, other letters, cards, I get bogged down in paper. What do you suggest?
So keep the papers that will keep you out of jail.
Well, none of these are really that important, I think, then.
Basically,
important box right here.
That's right. So your insurance policies, of course. And
anything that's that you would need, anything valid, any insurance policies or things relevant to this year, keep it. Anything that supports your taxes. So if you do get audited and you need those receipts to prove your write-offs and things like that, absolutely keep them. But the Entergy bill you've paid this month, the IRS says once it's paid, it can go. There's no reason to keep
I got
it.
a whole box of that stuff. I'm saying maybe even years of it.
Yeah, I have more than one box. I'm not saying. I'm pleading the fifth on how many. But, I keep thinking, one day I might need this. The other area is I inherited my great-grandmother's, my grandmother's, and most of what was in my parents' home. So I've gotten rid of 4. Not kidding you. This is embarrassing, but I'm gonna be let's all be honest here. Let's just be transparent.
come on, Betsy. Yeah.
I had 4 air-conditioned, large storage facilities I paid on for years for furniture that I didn't have a house large enough to. And then when I had a house large enough for all of it,
You
then I
didn't
put
use
it in
it
the
anyway.
garage and then only unpacked the number of boxes that I really wanted to live with. And then I was like, I'm done. I'll wait. Okay, so I have sentimental attachment to things that family members had sentimental attachment to. Now,
But you haven't seen them.
Well, they're not in storage now. They're at my house. So I have a room of storage, a bedroom of storage, and a boat port of storage, and then a bunch of closet for storage. So really what it is I need to let go. But I can't do it on my own. I need someone to say, Betsy, it's time to let go.
Right.
I'm thinking she's saying she needs me there with you that day that you come over for your counseling.
I'll see you
better
next
yet,
week.
I should send my husband because
I
you will
should.
take a photograph of that and it will be gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to need somebody strong to walk me through it and say, you can do it. It's okay. Your dead relatives won't be mad at you at all because they're in heaven and they're happy and they don't need that stuff.
And I don't know
I
if-
keep thinking, I'll repurpose it. I'll use it some other place. Because I might. And that is my issue. And my brother and his wife are very organized. They're very neat, especially after the flood and they lost a whole bunch of stuff. They're never going to be cluttered again. People who've been through the flood don't ever want clutter again.
You would think. But
You would think.
It can have the opposite effect as well.
Yeah.
Of the trauma of going through it can trigger hoarding as
so
well.
there's been a lot of people that have gone through that. My house didn't flood, but I've hung on to some of
Yeah.
these things that I think later I'll be sorry.
Yeah.
And my son has made it very clear, as perhaps yours have, I don't want it. I don't want anything. I don't want anything old. I don't want anything antique. But I love that stuff. So it's a process for me.
It is, and I will decode a couple of things that you said, and one is that you have a storage room full of things that were important to your family members. You didn't
Yes.
say they were important to you.
They
It was
are by
important to-
transference.
Yes.
However, it might be time.
And this is the thing, because you got to think about that, because I stored books for a really long time, is think about how much money you're spending on the storage
I spent so
room.
much money
you
on
could
storage.
have some
I wish I would
new
have owned the storage
stuff.
facility.
Yes.
I'm
we
the storage
added-
facility's perfect customer because you get too busy to go back.
To go back and do
rethink.
it.
But
I
now
added
I'm
it
out
up.
of the storage. It's just at my house.
So
I need
Alyssa,
Dr. Curtis Solar
it
to
sounds
do
like you're
surgery.
going to really need to help her. But
Yes.
if anybody's listening and they go, I need help, how do they contact you?
So they can contact me. My phone number is 225-773-3548, or I have Instagram and Facebook, so follow us and you get to see some fun before and afters and sort of organizing tips along the way.
Okay, and I'm just saying that hopefully we'll be posting Betsy's before and after,
Yes, I
so
love
y'all
it.
just stay tuned if we do and she makes it through it. We're going to put that on our Facebook page at Rocket Right Entertainment. But y'all stay put,
Sounds
don't
like
go
a plan.
anywhere, because up next, my husband, Dr. Curtis Solar, and my dog, Ori the Dude. So can't wait for you to meet him.
My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
Everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment.
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser of the great state of Louisiana. Hurricane Ida has brought great devastation to our community. In time of need, Louisianans always step up and help their neighbor. This time is no different. We'll help our neighbors and friends get back as we always do. If you need help or know of someone that needs help or would like to volunteer or make a donation, go to volunteerlouisiana.gov. We are Louisiana Strong. Thank you.
Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar since 2014, with a full calendar available on the website 24/7, clickable links to artists and venues, View the entire weekend lineup at a glance and plan your outings with your friends. View professional recordings of local live musicians. Watch interviews with people in our music community and find additional resources. Red Stick Music, Baton Rouge's live music calendar.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Cade Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you are interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Cade Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen & Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar in the house with Hurricane Betsy Barnes, and we've been talking about New Year's resolutions, and are you keeping them, and what are the top ones? We're excited to have my husband, Dr. Curtis Solar, join us on, because some of those involve your health, and there's a lot of things that I think that folks need to know that they can be doing for themselves that don't take a lot of effort. And my sweet puppy, Ori the Dude, one of those is to take up a new hobby, sport, or other interest. And my interest is Ori the Dude. He's a Bernie Doodle. He is sporting, if we can show you right here. Let me get that computer down for sure. He is sporting his leather jacket because it's cool outside. And he has his own TikTok account. So if y'all are TikTokers, follow him at Ori the Dude. He tries to post fairly frequently when he's doing entertaining things. So, but we'll let you have a little bit of time, honey.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
Since I drove the dog
Since
here.
you drove him here. And I know, we were Betsy and I were talking about a lot of New Year's resolutions, and a lot of folks, it's lose weight, get healthier, try to eat better, try to exercise. And we were talking about how a lot of people didn't make resolutions because they were bummed out because of COVID. Those who did, only 6% end up continuing with the resolution, but it needs to be more than a resolution. If they're concerned, and they were concerned about COVID and not wanting to die from COVID, but there's so many things you can do yourself on a daily basis that lessens your risk of not just having severe complications of COVID, but other health issues throughout your lifetime.
Sadly, it was a terrible year for so many things, including health. Everything the powers that be told us to do was counterproductive. Sit in your home and be afraid instead of going outside and do healthy things and try to overcome the obstacles that could hurt you. The COVID only showed what was wrong with us, which is our health. And people are not focusing on health. For that, they were focusing on not getting something that, if you were healthy, wasn't going to hurt you. They should have been focusing on trying to be healthy and doing all the things. And as Alyssa said, do little things one at a time, because there's 1,000 things that help.
And one of those things is having a pet to love on, to help you with your mental health. That's one of those things, and I think he wants me because I'm his mommy, and he loves me, and I'm the one. So I got to get a little bit closer here. But talk a little bit about some of those individual things, and just recently, because I mean, people just want to be politically correct, and they don't want to like say anything. But just recently, they were like one of the risk factors for getting COVID and having severe complications was, and they put it, being chubby. So we saw from the very beginning that being overweight was a huge factor as far as whether you got it and whether
older age and being overweight, both are things that hurt your immune system. So you want to do things to help your immune system, which would just losing a few pounds will help that. Doing things like you and I do, short fasts, is very good for your immune system. Vitamin D, probably the best way is to get it naturally. Get outside, get some sun. Take the supplements are probably also good, but get hot and sweaty. That's actually good for our bodies.
Right. And so, like you said,
yeah.
Well, like you said at the beginning of COVID, people took it as, you're not supposed to even go outside, and they were arresting people who were throwing the ball in the pretty
people
sun.
on the beach,
and like get off the beach. Whereas those things, getting out in the sun, being active, could have been things that actually helped your immunity.
Right.
Yeah, and talk about, there's some studies that we talked about specifically with vitamin D, which is such a simple thing to do, and so many people don't get enough of it, even like going outdoors. But if you take a supplement, there are some studies that
There were a lot of studies that showed that if you had adequate levels or fairly high levels of vitamin D, your chances of dying of COVID were very close to zero. There's confounding things. It could be that mostly healthy people have such high vitamin D levels, but it's definitely worth taking a supplement.
It's a pretty simple, easy thing to be doing.
It's very low risk and not that costly.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the fasting and the intermittent fasting. And we've talked about it a little bit on the show.
There's times we've gotten together and you're like, I can only have 500 calories today. And I was like, what is that, like a handful of popcorn? What is that? What is that? How do you do that?
You eat right, it's a decent bit. But.
If you don't keep up with it in a little calculator thing, then you don't know what's going in and what's,
As Kay remembers, I used to fuss at her for skipping meals. But apparently that was the right thing to do. Our bodies prefer to eat in short windows. The concept of 3 meals a day and a snack was something that was dreamed up in the early 1900s. I'm blanking on the exact. But
maybe food wasn't as plentiful as it is now.
Well, when it wasn't and people were on the farm, they didn't eat 3 meals a day.
Because they were working all day.
They were working all day.
to get that meal.
Yeah. But anyway, it's probably better to eat in fewer meals than what we do. And fasting is showing in many studies to be a very healthful thing for us to do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that go on during that fasting window that really helps boost your immune system and does things.
Gives your body chances to repair itself. Also, eating constantly, it promotes your body to overdo things, which can be overdone in your blocking your blood vessels, overdoing, sending chemical signals to your cells to reproduce when they don't necessarily need to, including cancer cells. So, it's theorized. It's all of them are very hard to do the studies to show, but that it probably reduces your risk of heart disease, cancer, and helps your immune system to do things like fight COVID.
Yeah, for the intermittent fasting. But you also mentioned even modest weight loss. Even if you started a plan to where you ate healthier, you lost 10% of your body fat, if you were overweight, that's been shown to reduce your risk for high blood pressure and diabetes and heart disease, and just, really put you on a better picture of health.
Well, and if you're not eating healthy foods, or you're eating too much, you're eating too many preservatives, too many inflammatories, too much sugar.
Right.
And people who are chubby, because I've been chubby, okay? People who are chubby.
We've all been chubby.
We've all been chubby. Everybody's been chubby.
One or the other.
That's right.
Chubby or fluffy, whatever the word was at the time.
Use not fat, use fluffy.
Yes, that's right.
But the whole thing is that we just want to live a healthy life so we can enjoy our family.
And that's where I think the intermittent fasting, even if you're still eating the same very bad American diet, which I totally don't think is good, you're still better off if you're doing it intermittently or doing some fasts in there. But obviously you want to work in healthy foods as much as you can into your routine.
Yes.
Less processed.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate my husband, Dr. Curtis Solar, coming in tonight. He's an OBGYN at Louisiana Women's Healthcare Associates. Bringing my Ori the Dude. Smile for him, Ori. Yes, Ori the Dude. He is the star of the show on TikTok. For his birthday, he wanted to be a famous TikTok dog. So y'all make sure and follow him. And don't go anywhere, because next up, Betsy interviews Alex Smith, an Alexandria boy who's up in Nashville, was home for the holidays, and
he's a cool dude too.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques, including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen & Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
Some call it joie de vie, the joy of life. In Louisiana, it's our way of life. From music that shakes up your senses to food that wakes up your palate. That joy vibrates in every note we play and spices up every meal we serve. So come live life to the fullest. Come one, come y'all, come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm Sean Ardway, inviting you to plan your trip at louisianatravel.com.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Cade Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you're interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Cade Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
Visit one of our 21 state parks all over Louisiana.
Let's go to the state park. There are 21 of them, you know. And state parks have biking and hiking, tubing, and we can even ride horses. Or we can go exploring and even swim by a beach. They have cabins, really nice ones, with long fishing piers.
Don't forget to tell them about the discounts.
Oh yeah, book 3 nights and we get the 4th night free.
Great job.
Thanks.
Louisiana State Parks, we're ready for your adventure.
The use of opioids and addiction to opioids is on the rise, especially in Louisiana, and I wanted to be a part of the solution. If you have a family member or loved one that you are concerned about with regard to opioid use, please call my clinic, Advantage Health Solutions. You can speak with my nurse or you can speak with myself, and we will talk to you about how to get that person into treatment, and we'll tailor what we do to your needs. and we'll do what we can to get your loved one in treatment and onto the path to health.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield, and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. That this place is cutting edge.
The Rocket Right Show. I'm Dr. Kay Solar in the house with Hurricane Betsy Barnes. That's her right over there. So, yeah. So you was a busy girl during the holidays.
I was.
Yeah.
I was. And I had such a big time at the Manship Show, Home for the Holidays, with the 4 singer-songwriters from Louisiana. And got to interview them before the show, talk about some nice young men who are so into their careers but never forget where they're from and who helped them get there.
And they love coming home. And new to the show this year was Alex Smith, who's from Alexandria, Louisiana, but he's got lots of family in Baton Rouge. He was so excited to come down here. I had some folks tell me about him in the past when I was bringing folks in for the Songwriter Festival, but he and CJ met because they are signed with the same publishing company, Edge Hill Music Publishing. But I want to hear your interview because, you get all kinds of information out of them, Bets. I think we should jump in there and see what you ask him.
Yeah, so if you're ready, we'd love to share this interview that I was able to do with Alex Smith. And welcome. We're really excited that we got to catch up with Alex Smith, along with some of those that are performing at the Home for the Holidays show. This 12th annual show always brings a lot of family members of different musicians who have a Louisiana connection, now living and succeeding in Nashville. So thank you, Alex, so much for deciding that you wanted to play this year's show and that you would take a few minutes in between sound checks to talk with us.
Absolutely.
So welcome to Baton Rouge.
Thank you.
So you are from Louisiana originally?
Yes.
And from?
I'm from Alexandria.
Okay.
But I've spent a lot of time in Baton Rouge. My grandparents are both from Baton Rouge, so I spent a whole lot of time here. I was at my cousin's house before this, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, getting a good bite to eat, I hope.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every time I come down to Louisiana, that's always on the list to try to see how much food you can squeeze in a short amount of time.
That's right, exactly. And it's the best food in the world.
Oh my gosh, you don't get anything like it. Like, no offense to Nashville or anybody listening from Nashville, but the food down here is just...
Well, there's a lot of people in Nashville that are from here, so it's stepped up the quality of good eating.
That's very true. You can run across it in Nashville, but it's easy. You round any corner down here and you go grab a po' boy or a boudin ball or whatever it might be, and it's just killer everywhere down here. So every time I'm home, we seriously fill up. I need to get back to the gym at the first of the year like everybody else down here, I guess, after that.
Go buy ice chest, fill it up.
Yeah, I do. Every time I'm down, between that and my mom sending me back home with stuff, I'll always come home with a full freezer. I'm going to get a deep freeze here soon to make sure I can keep it year round.
That's right. We love you. We feed you.
That's right.
It's our mantra.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what got you started playing the guitar and, being from Alexandria? I am aware that your dad was a little bit of a musician.
Yeah.
So tell us how you came to decide this is what you wanted to do and do it in Nashville.
The short version of the story, I guess, is Dad did it as I was growing up. But I don't know, you don't really have an interest in what your parents have an interest in. Right. So I kind of avoided it for a long time. Not consciously, but I was doing other things, playing sports and stuff. And lame quick story is Guitar Hero came out. And I started playing Guitar Hero. And I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. I was like, oh, and I kind of like doing this. And so that led the same buddy that had Guitar Hero at the time, the very first one, also had a guitar. So I learned a little bit of guitar there and then ended up teaching myself everything off of YouTube just over the years. Went to a Catholic school in Alexandria and started playing a little bit at Mass. And then went to college at UL in Lafayette and ended up playing just at some bars down there. And I don't know, it just slowly developed into writing my own songs somehow or another. And then I took a trip to Nashville with those same buddies that I had learned guitar with and stuff. And just kind of got caught up in that whole deal and had a few buddies that were up there and just wanted to try it out. And,
why not?
And moved and then tried to figure out how to make it work the best that I could once I was up there. And so I'm sure every songwriter feels the same way. It's always still developing. So I feel like I'm still in those phases a lot and trying to just work through the craft and learn how to be better each day at it. But that's the synopsis of the story, is it just kind of led through church and Guitar Hero and YouTube and that kind of deal. A very millennial, terrible story of how I started, but that's the truth.
I think that's a beautiful story because it involves your friends. It involves something that you kind of had a connection with, but weren't really involved with.
Sure.
And the guitar can become your best friend.
Oh my gosh.
You know, through good times and bad times and all that. So, but when you're surrounded by such creative people, like in Nashville, you know, some in Louisiana, but also when you get there, there's people from all over the country, all over the world, and the talent level is so high. Do you feel like that's helped you step up your game?
Oh, of course. I mean, anytime you get the chance, like any other athlete or anything will tell you, get the chance to play with the best, you're just going to rise up to the occasion, or attempt to at least, and you're just going to continue to get better as you're in that environment. And I don't know, there's a lot of talent, but there's a good feel in Nashville too, and the fact that you feel like a lot of that talent, you can go, hey, you want to get together and write a song? And a lot of times it'll work too, and they'll be open to that. So it's not like a talent where everybody's at arm's distance or anything like that. It seems like a talent pool that kind of draws people in and allows people to collaborate with each other. So I love it up there. I love the fact that I feel like I could do some of the same things in Louisiana, but not as frequently. There's just so many people that are talented in Nashville that you can kind of bounce ideas around off of, or co-write, or anything in that category. So it's definitely got a lot of talent, but it's fun to navigate your way through, that's for sure.
Well, not a lot of professions want to collaborate in the same way. There's more of a competition.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. That community of songwriters and singers saying, hey, let's get together. You want to get together? And then it's just fun.
Totally.
You know, it's just fun to sit around and listen to people play and enjoy that conversation that's all around the notes and the music and the beats.
And you get so inspired by other people's stuff. I'm sure there'll be many times tonight on this stage where I'll go, wow, that was a lyric. Wow, that was a melody. I mean, you get so inspired by just people that are around you, and that's what draws you to want to work with them too, because everybody brings something different to the table, and that's kind of what makes it. That's the Louisiana motto too, right? I mean, bringing everything together, whether it be food or whatever the case, it's just influences from all over, but it makes one great thing. So it's cool to be a part of.
So I want you to play something in a minute, but I want you to tell us kind of a little bit about what you have coming up in 2022. So you do have a publishing deal.
Yes.
What's the name of your publishing company?
Edge Hill Music Publishing is who I signed with, I guess, about a year and a half ago or so. And me and CJ are both over there with them. And so we're getting to work together a fair amount lately. And as far as 2022, I'm hoping a lot of good things. I've been working a lot with Kent Wells, who is Dolly Parton's producer, has been producing me on a bunch of stuff. I feel super, super fortunate to be working with him. I was kind of at the spot music-wise where I was praying for somebody to come along that would kind of give me a little around the shoulder and take some of this music and do some things with it. He's really done that for me, and allowed me to get in the studio and record some of these. And so that's kind of what's on the list, is trying to get some of this new music out, because we've done stuff in the past, but this is a little different. And a lot of this music's Louisiana music, and it's kind of about home. I'd written a lot about home without knowing it over the years, and we kind of compiled it into this project that feels a lot like home to us, and kind of has some of that Louisiana roots with some Nashville flair. And so I think that's what's really on the radar as far as 2022 goes, is putting out some new music. So we'll see. We're excited about it.
Well, yeah. And to be able to work with somebody that's worked with Dolly Parton, I mean, I don't even know how many songs that she's written, but so many that have been re-recorded by others. And it's those people, those producers and those collaborators that she's worked with that have helped her be successful.
Totally.
And she is so humble about what she's done. I mean, she's phenomenal. And just to have that influence in your music and in your career, it can be grateful.
Can't be beat. I mean, it just, I look at Dolly's scope of her career just in general. I mean, we were talking about that today. Who else is in that category where you're still talking about her on a daily basis? That's, she's just...
she's recreated and recreated and recreated her career.
Amazing.
It's a beautiful...
While staying true to all of her roots at the same time, while giving back to all these communities at the same time. Like, she's just, she's got it down. That's kind of on my list. If I ever got to kind of bump shoulders with her and have a few conversations, that's what I'd love to have it about, because there's got to be some secrets within there that kind of keeping all that running. That's a lot of stuff. She managed to juggle it all really, really well.
I think staying humble she's
Totally.
always stayed humble.
Absolutely.
With all the flair and bling, to
Totally.
humble.
Totally.
So what would you like to play for us? We want you to play a little something.
I don't know.
Play a little something that maybe hasn't come out yet, but something you feel pretty good about, or something maybe that you're playing for the Manship Show.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about that myself. We'll consider this our rehearsal, I guess.
And this is your dad's guitar.
Yeah.
Because yours is in the shop.
Mine is in the shop.
So the same guitar that you weren't interested in picking up then, now you're playing tonight.
Holding it today. Yeah,
That's
holding
right.
it and playing it tonight. I had to take it into the shop. It's been beaten up in Nashville. The guy that was working on it said it was the worst he's ever seen. So I took that as a compliment. I was like, it's been working hard. So
Yes, it has.
we took it as a compliment. But yeah, I'm going to play y'all one. Like I said, a lot of this music has been kind of Louisiana based. And I remember Alexandria, we're a little further north, so hurricanes would come through and stuff. But we didn't have too many that were too terrible compared to other places, obviously.
Right.
So for a lot of people that are outside of Louisiana, to explain, we used to sit in the garage with the lights out, whenever you had nothing else to do, and pick guitars while it's raining sideways. And so we wrote a song called Rhythm of the Rain that was just kind of about sitting and playing in the garage around that time. So I'm going to try that and see what happens, I guess. Word passed through the radio static that this one was gonna be big. Say, get your packing and batten down the hatches before she comes rolling in. But I was by you born and raised, and I know something that they don't. Yeah, nothing sounds better than hurricane weather, Mother Nature putting on a show. Louisiana sky crying, Mississippi River rising. Pounding out of backwoods backbeat always keeps me rocking to the rhythm of the rain. Cypress swinging, swamp singing. Take me to the front porch from Rosy, bare feet, sky beat, rocking to the rhythm of the rain. Yeah. This old Ponchatoula cabin was passed from my daddy and down from his daddy before. He said the gains keep coming, so you stay strumming through the hill and high water storms. Cause it's a southern summer sent from me, that catastrophic choir. When the wind is howling harmonies and the thunder's keeping time, Louisiana sky crying, Mississippi River rising. Pounding out of backwoods backbeat always keeps me rocking to the rhythm of the rain. Cypress swing, swamp singing. Take me to the front porch from Rosy, bare feet, sky beat, rocking to the rhythm of the rain. God's gonna save us from the water creeping up. The real God's gonna save us, baptize us with the flood. Said the Creole God's gonna save us from the water creeping up. Creole God's gonna save us, baptize us with the flood. Louisiana sky crying, Mississippi River rising. Climbing out of backwoods backbeat always gets me rocking to the rhythm of the rain. Cypress swinging, swamp singing. Take me to the front porch from Rosy, bare feet, got me rocking to the rhythm of the rain. Rocking to the rhythm of the rain.
I love it. That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Thank you very much.
Wow, I love it. Well, you got a new fan.
Thank you very much. I love
Well,
it.
Alex Smith, thank you so much. We look forward to following your career. We look forward to cheering you on, downloading your EPs. How can people find you?
Yeah, so simple name, obviously, Alex Smith or Alex Smith Music on just about anything and everything that you can imagine. So if it doesn't come up with just Alex Smith, try throwing music in after it, and it should come up after that. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you
we look
guys
forward to
so
following your career and all your success.
thank you very much.
Thank you. You rocking it right.
Thanks.
So with my interview with Alex Smith, could you tell that I really enjoyed him and his music? I mean, it was wonderful. And what girl would not like a handsome man and a great guitar? He's a great guitar player and singer-songwriter, and I just really enjoyed his personality.
He's a great guy, and you know, a lot of the folks that are in Nashville, they end up connecting with each other somehow. It's you know, they find each other out, and it's a very nice little community up there. And of course, CJ met Alex through their new publishing company with Edge Hill Music Publishing, and
they must have just clicked right away because he's so easy to like.
And such a great guy, and from Alexandria, Louisiana, but like he said, he's got lots of family here in the Baton Rouge area, so he was really excited to come home and play the show. He's got a new EP that's going to be coming out in the new year, and he's really focused a lot on that Louisiana feel music. He comes from a family of musicians in Lafayette, and you need to follow him because there's some Louisiana cats that are playing on his and he said his producer was Dolly Parton's longtime producer, so it's going to be a great project. So.
It is going to be great. That's going to be very entertaining, and you need to download that Alex Smith music.
And it's not out yet, but follow him so you know when it's coming, because it's coming in 2022.
Please, we're going to post this on Rock It Right Entertainment on our Facebook. Share these guys. You know, we want to promote our Louisiana musicians. We've been doing this for almost 7 years, promoting the talent from Louisiana in the performing and visual arts, and so we want to keep that going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
it was a good show.
I know. I hate to miss it. I'm so glad that you were there to interview all the guys and get all the back scoop in the green room. And I know that we want everyone to keep on rocking, follow their music, and if you're going to rock it,
make sure you rock it right.
Woo!
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar is brought to you by these generous sponsors. Partners One, better barter for Baton Rouge and beyond.
Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, Advantage Health Solutions with Dr. Boyd Michael Helm, Hightower Dental Concepts with Dr. Leah Larson, City Group Hospitality including City Pork Brasserie and Bar, City Pork Catering, City Slice, City Taco, Rouge Creole, and Beau Soleil.
Talent 360 Consulting with Vicki Little. Jeff Taylor, Realtor and Forester with Whitetail Properties. The 3rd Street Songwriters Festival. Elite Chiropractic with Dr. Ron McMorris. LouisianaIsATrip.com. Take one. Thank you for making our show possible.